three things that I think are the only things that I think could derail us. So the first one is health. As long as we keep our big eight healthy, and I'm going to name you our big eight: Brock, McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Trent, Warner, and Bosa. To me, those are our big eight. Like, as long as we keep those big eight healthy, we'll be in good shape. I believe we can scheme around everyone else who might, like, say, a Hargrave or an Armstead or a Greenlaw or a Ward who might be out. I believe, like, we could scheme around all that. But as long as those big eight are healthy, I think we have as good of a shot as anyone to win the Super Bowl.
I love it.
So that's the first one. Number two and 2A are Kyle Shanahan and Steve Wilks. So I'll tell you why I put Steve Wilks in this. Remember in the Seattle game when DK Metcalf beat Ambry Thomas for that touchdown? I was afraid that since it was a deep touchdown that Steve Wilks would go back to his soft zone. When I'm glad he didn't. But then again, that's a regular season game. But when the stakes are high, my fear is, let's say Ambry Thomas or Charvarius Ward or Lenore or whoever, let's say they're playing Philly and A.J. Brown goes deep and scores a touchdown. We play great coverage on him, but, you know, he just made a great play. Is Wilkes going to keep the press coverage going, or is he going to go back to his old soft zone? So that's one thing. So the second thing about Kyle is, let's say Brock makes a turnover-worthy play, like he throws an interception that's dropped. Are you still going to let him cook, or are you going to take the ball out of his hands and go run heavy?
Because, like, Kyle was letting Jimmy Garoppolo cook in 2019, if you remember.
I do remember.
Like he had the shootout against Drew Brees in New Orleans, and his numbers were great that year. He completed like almost 70% of his passes, and then he had that one stinker in the first round against the Vikings, and that was that.
So that's the key right there. Is he going to continue to let Brock cook? Or now, granted, Brock has way more playmakers to work with than Jimmy. I mean, you got CMC, you got a prime Debo, you got Ayuk, you got Kittle. So I would hope
Mostert and Emmanuel Sanders weren't bad that year. I'm just saying.
I still believe that.
Freaking good.
One more thing. I still believe that in that Super Bowl when Jimmy overthrew Emmanuel, replace those two with Brock and Brandon Ayuk, and that pass gets completed.
I would imagine. AK9er, great call. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.